Welcome to our podcast, Tell Us a Story, a laid-back place where people come in to share their gift of gab and tell us their most interesting true life stories while we talk about different topics from all over the world. I'm Babu.
I'm Frenchie.
What's happening, Frenchie?
We have Grace in the house.
We have Grace in the house. Is it amazing, Grace?
Oh my God.
I had to use it. Had to use it.
And this is how it starts.
This is how it starts. Yeah. This is how it starts. Feeling it? Feeling it? There's royalty in the house.
There's royalty in the house.
There is royalty in the house in the name of Grace Landry. She's here to tell us all about herself. Tell them a little bit about Grace. Frenchie?
Well, first of all, welcome, Grace.
Thank you.
So Grace Landry is a multi-talented 20-year-old young woman who will astonish you with all the things she dabs into. She's an école student, art major, s'il vous plaît, who loves to dance, have fun, and who exudes kindness and intelligence. Are we ready to dive in, Babu?
Oh, I'm ready.
You
What about
ready,
you, Grace? Let me hear from you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
She's ready. She's fired up. All right, here we go. Grace, you are a Nichols student. Can you tell us how you picked your major and why?
Sure. So I actually started college as an allied health major. I was specializing in speech therapy, and I've always loved to do art. I always would doodle in my classes. I would draw all the time, and I just loved art so much. And I had a lot of support with art. My family was very supportive, and all my friends, people just were always excited about my art.
Was your mom and dad were they artists of sorts? Did it come from somewhere?
They're creative.
Yeah.
My dad's family.
That's a nice way of saying no.
No, I mean, they are creative people, like my dad plays music, and my
Right.
mom was always doing crafts with us, and she's good at art too. I mean, she's very creative, and I
Kelly,
think
this is for you, by the way, if you listen.
That's her mom.
Yes.
yes. But she always encouraged me to, do crafts and get creative. And so I was kind of scared to start my major in art because I just didn't know what I was going to do with it. And so I started in allied health. And then at the same time, I was also starting a job doing a lot of creative things, doing framing and, selling art and things. And so my boss was really involved with the art department, and especially with their fundraiser that they do every year. It's a really big event. They're the only school that does this fundraising event in the area. And so he encouraged me to get involved with that, even though I wasn't an art major. And I did, and I was going every other day to help build these big paper flower decorations for the front of the building. And
Oh, I remember those. They're gorgeous and
they
huge.
were so much fun. Yeah. And we put a lot of time into it, and I helped out at the event, and I was like, you know what? I love art so much, and I just love being involved with this department. And so I decided to switch, and I've loved
You
it ever
felt it,
since.
right? It was. You knew it was for you.
Yes.
That's
It's
awesome.
It's what was in her heart. So speaking of, you've always been artsy. What is it that you love so much about creating in general?
There's a lot of different things that I love about it. I mean, obviously, there are some things that are frustrating and difficult, but I love the process a lot of times. Sometimes it's therapeutic, sometimes it's really challenging, but there's a reward to it. I'm learning, and I like trying different medias and getting good
I was
at
going
each.
to ask you, is there one in particular that you love most?
Well, my concentration right now is in painting.
Okay.
But I think I definitely prefer drawing more, like with either
Yeah.
charcoal or graphite. I think I just enjoy it more. But I also love when, I don't love all commissions, but I've been working on these commissions for hands of people who lose a family member, and they take a picture holding that family member's hand before they pass.
Oh yeah, I've
And
seen a
so-
few of those actually.
Yes, and I'll draw it in pencil, and it's so, I feel honored to be chosen to do that for them.
And those are powerful pictures.
Yes. And, I feel the sadness for the family while I'm working on it, but I just love the reaction that they get from receiving it and how much it means to them. So there's that side of it too that I really enjoy.
So you really, you obviously are moved by the whole process too when you do that in particular. Yeah, that's really nice.
So if somebody wanted to see some of your work, is there a place, or can you tell us maybe some of your work, if it's up on display somewhere, that they would be able to see it?
I do have an Instagram and a Facebook. The Instagram is sketchy.grace and...
Sketchy.
Say it again, Grace.
Sketchy Grace, sketchy.grace.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about, Grace.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
but
awesome.
I don't really have like a website or anything yet. I just, I'm still learning, and it's kind of just for fun right now that I'm posting. But yeah, that's mainly where you can see it. I've had pieces in galleries before, like the university that I go to does galleries every now and then, so sometimes I'll have pieces there too.
All right, cool. Well, you seem to be a very busy young woman between school and work. What's some things that you do in your free time?
Well, I don't have a whole lot of free time.
Let's imagine a world, Grace, where there's some free time. What would you do?
Or if you don't have it, if you could have it, what would you do?
Well, unfortunately, I spend a lot of time on TikTok. Yes, but
when we start that, Grace, we're going to get you to help and assist us, because
we have no clue.
No, but we're going to do something.
We are?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Because you're the techie one.
Yeah.
And you're young.
I'll keep you up with the trends.
So you're doing some TikTok videos?
Sometimes, yeah, but I've been trying to get away from it recently and just try to fuel my creativity more.
Yeah.
And so I'll just kind of pick up different medias and, ditch them for a while and then pick it up again. But I tried silversmithing for jewelry, and I've tried
I saw one piece, by the way, that was really pretty.
Yeah.
I'm learning, and crocheting and just different things that
I just want to say that she's so humble and so I just kind of do sort of. No, you're amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some of your work.
Like that drawing, that for me, I can throw a shirt on a chair and it looks folded, but she draws the folds of the shirt on the chair.
Yes, I've seen it. Very impressed.
For example. So free time, more creative is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to be. I think while, people say like, oh, I'm not talented in art, but I think it's also a good bit of practice too. It's like a muscle. If you don't work it, it's not going to grow.
True. That's definitely true.
Mm-hmm. So I try to kind of,
I think I agree and I disagree. I think you have to have a gift to begin with. And then if you don't do anything with it, I agree with you. But some people, as much as they want to have the gift, no. Don't.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with that to a certain extent. But as a teacher, one thing that I constantly have to tell my students is anything you do requires practice and repetition.
Oh, no, I agree.
And it doesn't matter what you do. And if a kid tells you he's just in the video games, same thing holds true. Doesn't matter what you do. You have to have practice and repetition.
Absolutely.
To be good at it.
I was talking to my painting teacher the other day, and I'm learning a lot with painting, but he told me, like, maybe you should try over the Christmas break just to do a portrait a day or something, just to get the repetition in, because I can understand the concepts, but sometimes it's just getting the repetition and and working that muscle. The
technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a queen in the house, right?
Well, that's what the intro music was all about.
The little birdie told me that you've been chosen as the 70th queen of the crew of Christopher.
Did you say 70?
70.
70?
70. Yes.
Zero.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
You.
Oh,
What
wait,
an
you
honor.
need some applause.
Thank you.
Too bad people can see the hand gesture.
Yeah.
She just, Your Majesty.
That's not an official wave, Grace. You need to use all fingers.
Wait, Grace. So what an amazing honor that is, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, I've always loved Mardi Gras, and my parents, you know, they would take me to the parades, and they liked it, but they've really been into it recently since they joined the crew. And it was always like family time to me because we would go to the parades with my family, and we would go to my mom's godmother's house, and it was always so fun to me. So, you know, my first year involved in the crew, I was a maid, and that was why we joined, because I was a maid, and it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed getting to know the girls and, you know, making new friends through that. And also just the festivities are so fun. So when they asked me if I wanted to be queen, I was like, absolutely.
I mean,
Wow, of course.
Yeah.
Would you like to be queen? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I have to ask this because I've seen when you were a maid, actually, and got to see some of these outlandish dresses and the way some of these costumes are put together. Is that comfortable? That can't be comfortable. Come on.
It's
It's
kind
challenging.
of about what you expect, I guess. I mean, sequins are prickly.
Don't be polite. Say it.
Well, when I was a maid, my dress wasn't too bad. It wasn't too uncomfortable, but we did a dress rehearsal, and I had this huge headpiece with these feathers coming out the back, and the headpiece was made with wire to hold it up. And so it wasn't heavy at first, but when you're standing there for like an hour or 2 hours, you know, it starts to like kind of weigh
And
you
just
down.
keep your posture too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my
I
back
didn't think about that.
was kind of killing me. But
Keep smiling, Grace.
and then this year, now that I'm a queen, I have to drag around this big
The
train,
big train
behind me.
Yeah.
And it's really heavy.
I mean,
But I'm excited. I think
I've
it'll
actually
be fun.
got to see the crown. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I even
Did
got
you-
to
did you wear
hold it.
No,
No,
you can't
of
do
course
that.
not.
Well, I don't.
No, I'm just a peasant.
I don't know proper etiquette when it comes to
No,
queens.
you cannot wear the. No.
Was it my crown? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh
saw
my
it.
gosh.
See, she don't even know. Oh, you're in trouble. Now. Off with her head.
She stole my crown.
It's her mom.
Well, funny story about the crown, and I'll keep it short, but we went to Alabama for that crown, and
Oh,
you know, I
my.
wasn't super picky, but my mom was like, I really want you to have this experience. So we went as a family to Alabama,
Yeah.
and I didn't tell my boyfriend that I was the queen. We've been knowing since April. And I was like, so we're going shopping. We're going to spend the day shopping. We went
To
out of state.
Alabama.
Yeah, he had no idea. I turned off all my locations and everything.
That is funny.
Wow.
It was
To
a lot of fun.
crown maker. That's what I
Yes.
love. Where do you go? I'm going to a crown maker for
And
my crown.
they hand make the crowns. They've made them for celebrities and stuff. So it was
I
a pretty
mean,
cool
I
experience.
was gonna say that crown looks beautiful. The craftsmanship is amazing. In fact, Babu, we need to go there
Really?
for a crown.
Oh, yes.
I want a crown for Christmas.
We'll discuss that off air.
Wish list for Christmas, crown. So as queen, what are your responsibilities? What's the greatest thing about becoming the queen, and what's the most challenging maybe?
Well, obviously I have to, you know, keep things fun. And when I was a maid, I really looked up to the queen that we had that year. I actually knew her before. She was in dance class with me, and she was just so positive and outgoing and fun. And so I kind of like look up to her and want to be like her.
Yeah.
And keep it fun for everybody. And you know, we throw some parties and a lot of fun events like decorating umbrellas and like the little second line umbrellas.
Oh, neat.
And I kind of want to do like a Christmas party or teach the maids some of the line dances that they don't know.
Yes.
You know, so keeping it fun like that. And they have like the King Cake Festival that I think I'll be involved with.
Oh, cool.
I don't think there's really any challenging parts except maybe like the busy schedule.
I was gonna say it's probably a hectic thing.
Especially since Mardi Gras is earlier this year. It's like really early.
When
so
is it, speaking of, do you know?
It's February 13th, I want to say. Yeah, it's like much earlier in the month.
It'll come up before you know it.
Yeah, I should probably remember that date since.
When is it? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just here.
Here to have fun.
Yeah.
Well, you have your subjects to take care of your schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's gotta be something to this queen thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's like back-to-back weekend, planning things and getting together and, but it's all fun. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, off topic, tell us the bravest thing you've ever done.
Well, when I thought about this question, I kind of wanted to come up with a deep answer, but really the first thing that came off the top of my head was this solo that I did for marching band. I had to stand on the top of a pyramid. It was this ancient Mayan pyramid.
Oh, yeah. That was gorgeous, by the way.
It was pretty cool. We sacrificed a color guard girl off of it and stuff.
I wish I would have saw that. I missed that.
You can actually see it.
Is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
Tell us, for the listeners out there, how do you find it on YouTube? Because I know some people are going to want to check this out.
The name of the show is The Offering, so you could probably look up
The Offering
marching show and
school
Thibodaux High.
Thibodaux High.
Yeah. So,
Right.
but that was probably the bravest thing I've done because I have always kind of had stage fright. You know, I played piano for a long time, and I would always get so nervous when I had to perform.
Sure.
And so, standing on this pyramid with smoke around me and these steps that I had to walk down after, it was pretty scary.
Don't let me fall.
Yeah, but honestly, I was surprisingly not nervous for it. So
I have visions of Indiana Jones in my head right now. Dun, dun, dun.
No.
dun-dun.
No?
No.
All right.
Good
Moving
thing
on.
there were no rolling boulders.
See, she's feeling it.
Or snakes.
Oh yeah.
That's why you
Snakes?
said no.
Yeah.
You don't like snakes.
I don't like snakes. Do you like snakes?
They
Please
kind
say
of
no.
They kind of creep me out, but I'll pet them.
Oh my.
No. I'm not one of those people that's like,
I'm not
oh,
crazy
don't
about it, but I'll
snake."
pet it.
I don't really like them, but I will touch them. No.
Yeah, they're just kind of cold looking, like they don't have any emotion behind their eyes.
I'm just going to tell you a quick story. Recently, I got out my car, minding my own little business. I see this little snaky snake on the side. Literally, I open the door and I see it. I screamed so loud
my gosh.
that it hauled ass back in the garden. And it was just marked by the event. And she goes, I would have petted it. No.
Well,
Hey, little snakies, no.
Yes, and listen, from experience, her screams are not to be tampered with. It's
The snake got scared.
flashbacks
Did you break
to
glass?
Oh man, imagine a movie theater and just a preview of a horror movie preview now,
It's a stress. I'm stressed
and
out.
this guy 2 rows in front, 3 times her size,
It may or may not have happened.
and his extra large bucket of popcorn. Not the preview that made him jump, her scream. And his evil death stare following after he lost all
my
his
gosh,
popcorn,
all his popcorn
was
on the
so cool. It was awesome.
This is one of my bravest moments. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, yeah.
Who's the one person you admire the most or you've learned the most from?
well,
It doesn't have to be just one, by the way. But yeah.
okay. Well, the obvious answer is my parents,
Yeah.
because they're probably going to listen to this.
Hey, Paul. Hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
Well, that was nicely done, Grace.
Yeah, she's very slick. I
Right
like
on
it.
cue.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I would say my parents because mostly because I'm really thankful for how they raised me in the church, and they have been very persistent about teaching me about my faith, and I feel like that's been very beneficial to me, especially being in college now. I used to kind of roll my eyes because my mom was like, "Oh, make sure you still go to church in college," and I was like, "Oh, I will." But I'm glad she she pushed that for me because I think it's really helped me, and I think God has blessed me in a lot of different ways. And then I also look up to my boyfriend, obviously, because he's...
I don't know about obviously, but okay.
Well,
You know.
yeah, but he is such a hard worker, and sometimes I get annoyed with him because he doesn't show me a lot of attention, but he just puts so many hours into studying, and he's working so hard because he wants to do well, and he wants to get this job doing what he loves to do, and I look up to him in that way because
Well, that's super sweet.
It is. Very
Well,
admirable.
first of all, your parents are very sweet, both of them. And Jake, is your boyfriend, is really sweet too. And it's just, I just have to say this. I'm thinking about the Mardi Gras ball last year. Both Babu and I were very impressed with you and your friends. And I was going to say with, everybody talking down on, this new generation, blah, blah, blah. We were actually really impressed because all of you were super welcoming, very polite, but also very inclusive. It was really sweet. I think we really connected with that. It was really nice.
And when we made y'all look like amateurs on the dance floor, y'all were cool about it. And I was like, all right, I like these people.
No, you know what Jake told me? Oh, you got moves. What he really meant was for an old person. Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, I get it.
I was achy the next 3 days, but it was really fun.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, leave that part.
Honestly, I think
I'm
we
gonna
were
edit
too.
that
Can you
part
edit
out.
that?
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a lot of fun and it was really nice.
Yeah.
All right, Grace, is there anything that scares you? Tell us.
Bugs.
Bugs?
Bugs are what snakes are to you.
Really, like
bugs
which
to
bug?
me. Any bug.
Bugs you?
Roaches in particular.
Oh, my God. Oh, just the word, Grace. And listen, I'm not afraid. I'm not too manly to say I will scream like a little 5-year-old girl if I
And
see a
call
roach.
for your girlfriend.
And call for you to kill
roach.
the roach. And listen, I can do snakes. I cannot do roaches. I will not do roaches.
I will actually gag, but I will kill the roach. I can do it.
Well, I've had a lot
God
of bad
forbid if they
experiences
fly,
with
too.
bugs. Oh my gosh, no.
Yes.
They always fly right at you. They attack you.
The roach flies at you.
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I've been chased with a dead roach, like a person holding a dead roach
no,
chasing
no,
me.
No.
I've had a June bug in my mouth before. Bugs, genuinely, I don't think they're going to bite me.
That might have been the
scared of
bravest
that.
thing you've ever done, Grace.
Yeah, honestly, just not dying of a heart attack. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But
In her
I'm
mouth.
genuinely terrified.
I will have a nightmare about that. Ugh.
It was pretty terrible.
It's ugh.
Yep.
Let's move on from the roach question.
Moving
Okay.
on.
Yes,
Gladly.
please.
Let's do it. Barbara. We've established that you're an artist, a dancer. For those who don't know, she can dance.
Kind of.
But you also are a musician. Triple threat.
Triple threat.
What instruments do you play, and are there any favorites?
Well, I've played piano and flute. I played piano since I was 5 years old and flute since the 5th grade up until college. And then I played piccolo later on, which is basically like
Like a flute?
a tiny flute.
Okay.
I have to say that flute is my favorite
Oh.
because I get frustrated really easily when I can't get something right away. And piano, I love piano, but it's kind of a longer process to me for learning a piece. I would always have like a crying part of learning a piece because I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
now that you're a queen, you can go, I need another piano. It's the piano
I can just
spot.
get someone to play it for me. No, but flute came a little more naturally, and I had a lot of fun with marching band and like concert competitions and things, and I just loved the sound of the flute, and it's such a beautiful instrument.
It
so
is.
I think that's my
I
favorite.
agree.
Yeah, and I've also like dabbled in like ukulele and other random.
Ukulele is cool.
Yeah.
We need
It
to
is.
give her an instrument
Give her an instrument.
Oh my gosh.
to play, like right now.
Like right now.
No.
She's
No.
like, I'm not prepared for
She
that.
goes, what? You didn't say anything about that. What you talking about?
All right, Grace. Prepare something and we'll get you back in here.
All righty.
Podcast volume 2.
You traveled to Europe over the summer. What surprised you the most, if anything? And don't save roaches. And
Well, there were surprisingly very few bugs.
Oh, you see?
yeah, and what did you love most, and what didn't you care for? Just kind of fill us in on the trip and your thoughts.
Where did you go, first of all?
So our trip was to France and northern Italy.
Mm-hmm.
It was with the art department, but I mean, I paid my own way, but they always put on a trip every summer, and
Right.
we were like, let's go. So we went on the trip, and it was kind of,
That was very casual. You want to go to France and Italy?
it kind of was like, we were like, you want to go to Europe? Like, and my mom was like, sure. Then we just, you know,
Good.
so, I mean, we don't have to do any planning for it except for what we're packing, but so we went to a lot of different places. It was like Paris and Giverny and I mean a lot of different places. And then we went to northern Italy in Stresa, and that part of the trip was a little more relaxing because it was kind of the more, what's the word, rural? Is that the
Oh,
word?
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it, and
Like the
scenery
countryside
was-
more?
Yeah, the countryside, and
Mhm.
it was beautiful and a lot of fun. And I think the most surprising thing, we were talking about this earlier, is like we kind of joke that Europeans don't believe in air conditioner water.
Can I have some ice? 1 cube.
I know there was no ice water, and you know, like
Yeah, your
in
mom
Louisiana,
said she came back dehydrated.
yeah. We asked my dad to bring us a big jug of ice water, and he didn't bring it.
Oh, man.
But I mean, in Louisiana, like when you walk into a building, you expect this cold blast of air
Right.
from
yeah.
the air condition,
Right.
and in Europe, it wasn't there.
Never
And
happened.
I honestly kind of liked it because I'm cold a lot of times, and so. And the climate there was pretty decent. It was kind of hot in some places, but it was pretty decent most of the time. So walking into places that weren't overly air conditioned was actually pretty nice. And I wish we had the climate
Not
for that
gonna
around here.
Not gonna happen. Not
Yeah.
in Louisiana.
No, you're right about
Yeah.
that.
And I also did a photography credit for school on that
Oh,
trip.
that's neat.
And it's a fine art photography credit, so it was actually surprisingly difficult to find good photographs that were not like the typical postcard photograph.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, Europe is so beautiful, and they have so much beautiful architecture, and it was hard to like find interesting things to photograph that were kind of like a moment that nobody else would see, or that
Not
would
touristy
raise
or typical.
questions,
Yeah.
or, you know.
Right.
And I did end up finding taking a good bit of photos that I put into a book, but yeah, it was.
So what is it that caught your attention more, or your eye, I should say, when it came to that? Is it like playing with shadows, or is it anything in it specifically?
Well, photography is the capturing of light, and so I did tend to kind of look for interesting lighting situations,
Okay.
but I also was kind of drawn to things that felt familiar to me because we were like in a foreign country, so
Yeah, sure.
I was kind of drawn to like human experiences that I kind of shared, or like
I like that you said that, because to me that's the very essence of traveling, is finding the familiar in something that
Exactly.
you don't know. I love that. She's a poet too.
Well,
J'adore.
quadruple threat.
Thank you for being
Yeah,
attention.
yeah, see that?
Bravo.
And people say guys don't listen.
Not my guy.
Come on now.
My boyfriend is nice.
All right, I think that brings us to the pinnacle moment of the show. Are you ready to do it, Frenchie?
I am.
All right, here we go. Are you ready, Grace? I should ask you because
Sure.
you're the star of the show. All right, here we go. Tell us a story.
So, I had a hard time coming up with a story because, I don't know, I just drew a blank. But this is kind of a more recent story, and I just thought it was funny. I had applied for a scholarship, actually for the same kind of trip that I just went on. And the trip is to Spain and Portugal, and they give a few scholarships every year that kind of pays the student's way to the trip. And I applied for it, but I didn't get my hopes up because I had kind of a scheduling issue, and we do what's called a sophomore review, and you have to have that to apply for a scholarship. But because of my schedule issue, I didn't have my sophomore review. So I applied, didn't get my hopes up. And I was working on this sculpture project till late at night, and I got this email from a person that I didn't really recognize the name of. So I don't even know if I knew I got the email, but I didn't read it. And I went to art history class, and my teacher ended the class early, and she came up to me after, and she was like, "Don't you have an appointment to go to?" And I was like, "What?"
Do I?
Do I? I don't know. You tell me. And she was like, "Well, the head of the department told me that you wouldn't be in class because you had somewhere to go." And I was like, "I have no idea
what's going on."
Yeah, so I was like, "Okay, well," and I went home. I checked my email. I didn't have an email from the head, Ross, the head of the department. And so I went home, and my grandmother was visiting from Montana, so I was visiting with them, and I get this call from a girl in the art department, and she was like, "Hey, are you like coming to Jean's office, the dean?" And I was like, "No." What? Something's going on here.
What am I missing?
Yeah, and she was like, "Well, you're supposed to be here." And she was like, "You didn't get an email?" And I was like, I checked my email again. I didn't see one from Jean, didn't see one from Ross. I was like, "No." So we hung up, and I was talking to I called Jean, the dean, and she was like, "Just don't worry about it. You can come a different day." I mean, she just talks like that. Like, I love her, but she's kind of scary.
What are you most scared of, Grace? You know that question?
Jean the Dean.
It's not snakes.
It's Jean the Dean's dancing machine, secretary.
No, she's really great, but
I love
she
her.
just she was just like, "It's okay, you can come a different day." And I was like, "Well, I don't know what's going on." So I went back inside, and I was talking to my parents, and I was like, "Is this like a scholarship? Is this about the scholarship? I have no idea." And I was like, "Should I go to school?" And they were like, "Probably." So I jumped in my car, and I was like speeding. It usually takes me like 15 minutes to get to school. I got there in under 10. And
Be careful, kids out there.
yeah, really.
Don't speed.
Yeah, so I went into the office, and I was like, "Hey, where's Jean?" And the girl working at the desk was like, "Well, she's in a meeting." And I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be there." And
I'm imagining Jean with like fire on top of her hair or something. You know,
well, she has
opening
red
the
hair.
door. There we go. Now I got a good visual.
So the girl takes me to the meeting room, and Jean opens the door, and she's looking at me.
Fire in her
And
eyes.
she hands me this packet of papers. And on the front of the papers is this picture that my boss asked me to print up at work of a cheesy matador costume that says, "No bull, you're going to Spain and Portugal."
Wow.
So I ended up getting the scholarship.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
And my sculpture professor was there, and I was like, "You're the reason I didn't read my email because I was working on my project." And he was like, "Well, I can attest for that." But yeah, so moral of the story, read your email.
I was going to say, by the way, what a sucky year for Grace to come up.
Yeah.
2024. Damn.
Yeah.
Queen, Spain, Portugal.
I can back you on the whole read the email thing because, and I'll take the listeners all the way back to episode 1 if you haven't heard it. By the time you hear Grace's podcast episode, I made the same mistake, and it was a national sweepstakes. that I actually won a trip to New York City, and I
Oh my
deleted the
gosh.
email. Yes, because I thought it was spam.
So you can relate.
And the following day, receiving a FedEx package at my door. Thank God for that package because I deleted the
my
email.
Well, congratulations on that too. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
I'm
amazing.
excited.
Yeah. That is exciting.
So, any particular places you planning on seeing with that trip?
I don't know a whole lot about Spain and Portugal. I'm going to do some research
Well,
on
Grace,
it.
it's your lucky night because sitting next to me, I think 23andMe says she's like 64% Spanish,
What?
something like
first
that.
of all,
Can you
it's,
speak Spanish?
it's 63, but
63. I gave you one.
well, my dad is from Spain.
Yeah.
Habla español.
See.
Give her a couple of pointers. What's some places to see in Spain?
Well, you usually have an itinerary, right, that you guys follow.
Yeah, but they do give us some free days.
Do you have it already, though? Or you're not sure yet?
No.
I mean, Spain is...
Come on, give us one or two. Prove your heritage, girl.
I know we're going to like Barcelona and Madrid, I think.
Yeah, Madrid is... Well, yeah.
Other
For
places.
me, it would
Yeah.
be Andalusia.
There you go.
With I wonder if you're gonna go see that. There's a Moor palace that's called La Alhambra. That's absolutely gorgeous with the mosaics and stuff. It's just oh my god, the flamenco dancers, all that. It's
I'm sure we'll be
amazing.
seeing.
But I mean, depending on where you end up, because Portugal is on the west and then coming in, Andalusia is the south. So it can be quite a trip, but you know.
Well, I think Jean usually likes to end the trips with kind of like the more relaxing and countryside places. Like when we went to Stresa in Italy,
Yeah.
that was our last place because it was just so beautiful and very chill.
Yeah.
So I think Portugal is
Maybe
going
the
to be
last
the
one.
last. Yeah,
Gotcha. So probably like Madrid and then Portugal.
probably so.
And when is this trip happening?
In June.
In June.
You want to join?
You know the answer
can.
to that.
I tell you what.
Is this one of those trips that they do that's open to the public? Is that they do that every year, right?
Yeah.
The same thing. Yeah.
In June they do like it's a student and anybody trip, so
Right,
they have
right.
like a certain number of slots for the students.
Right.
and-
Gotcha.
But
Nice.
if you think our trip was fast paced, you can
Oh my
ask her
gosh.
mom about it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Well, I have a buddy that goes on it pretty much every year, and he tells
It's a
me.
lot, though, is what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
one, I forget what she said, but there's a day where you went to Montmartre and you went to Versailles. It's like, oh my God. how
All in
can
the
you
same
go-
day.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't have time to see everything. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just kind of
obviously.
how it is. But
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I feel like we still got a good bit of things into the schedule. Like when we went to Versailles, that was one of the main places that I really wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't get to see the gardens, but the palace itself was beautiful
Yeah.
and like totally worth it. And I feel like I didn't really miss a whole lot.
You just have to go back, that's all.
Yeah, exactly.
And see it even longer and better.
Well, Grace, thank you for being a host. No, not a host. You're not a host. You're
What
a
are you
guest.
talking about?
I'm the queen.
losing my
I'm the
mind.
host today.
She's not losing.
She is royalty.
She's royalty.
Well, thank you for being royalty.
She's not hosting
Thank you
anything.
for. Hey, wait. Here you go. You ready for it?
Yes.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Wow.
Get it?
No, wait.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Gracing us.
Little exit music on cue.
Thank you for coming, Grace.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was awesome. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
When, like now?
Hey, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to Mardi Gras. I'm sure Grace is. I'm sure you are.
Too.
Oh, I'm already thinking
I'll be the
about
legal
dresses.
drinking age.
Yeah. What?
21.
Purple people later. It's coming. Look out.
And remember, those who don't believe in magic will never find it. We all have stories to tell. What's yours? Bye now.
You guys take care. We'll see you around next time.